Okay, I'm making this video so that other people can learn from my mistake. And but it was still a cool story because I actually got to hear God speak to me, and that was something that I was yearning for and wanting so badly. And then it happened, and then I immediately messed up and added to it, kind of distorted what the meaning was. And so this is a warning. What happened was, with my second daughter, after she was born, I started to have this fear kind of about her future. And it was from this kind of silly, I guess, idea in my head. Some of the other families I had known growing up, the second child would get rebellious and turn away from, I just kind of go down a path that would cause the parents distress. And I thought that because she was my second child, this could be also in her future, and it's a little bit irrational, I think. But I was kind of frequently thinking about this when I would put her down at nap time, and I would just say a prayer, God, please capture her heart for you, that she won't turn away and rebel against you. And so one day, I'm putting her in her crib. I'm not having even these thoughts about her future at that moment. I'm just putting her into her crib for nap time. And that's when, boom, the Lord spoke to me. And it wasn't that I heard anything with my ears. It was like if somebody in the room had spoken to me, and the impact of receiving that message was exactly the same, but there was no sound preceding the message. And what he said was, as I was looking at my daughter, he said, do you trust me with her future? And I was taken aback. The moment was so clearly, it was not my thoughts that had created that. Do you trust me with her future? Boom. And I go, yes, Lord, I do. And then immediately following that was this sense of something bad is going to happen to her in her future. Okay. So I walked away from that moment going, wow, God just spoke to me, and I'm trying to make sense of this. Something bad is going to happen in her future. He's asking, do you trust me with it anyway? This is what I'm processing and thinking is happening. And so for 2 days, I'm walking around. I told my husband about it. I told some trusted friends, like, God, this is what God spoke to me. And just so you know, something bad is going to happen in her future. So when it happens, please remind me that I said, yes, God, I trust you with it. And is it going to be, I'm starting to think, like, is she going to have a medical tragedy happen or some other kind of tragedy, or is it going to be like a rebellious thing, or what is it? It's probably something that I would not want for her life. And I'm kind of distressed about it, but also trying to turn it around in the Christian way and saying, but God, I trust you. And I know that in reality, every path, this could be something that does happen to my daughter. It really could be something that I would not plan for, something kind of awful, but that God will work through it, and I have to trust him for it. I recognize that that's always a possibility. But on the second night, God spoke to me again in exactly the same way, as I was thinking about what he had said. And this is what he said this time. That's not what I said. I said, do you trust me with her future? And I realized in that moment, oh, that was all he said. What followed, that fear feeling of, and something bad is going to happen to her. Either that was me, or that was a spirit of darkness coming through to take away God's word to me. But that second part was not a part of what he was declaring to me. He was asking me to search myself and just say, do you trust me with her future? And actually, when I thought about that, the fear left me. And it's been 1.5 years now, and I have not even once felt concern about her having a rebellious streak or whatever. I'm still praying for her, but not out of fear. It has completely gone. I felt restored and refreshed after that, and realizing this is all God had said was, do you trust me with her future? And that answer is still yes, I do. He's her father too. He's a perfect father, unlike humanity. But I'm telling you this story because I was just reading in John, right at the end of John, right as the chapter closes, it's kind of funny because a similar thing happened with the disciples and how they kind of took something Jesus said, they kind of twisted and added to it, and this is what it was. So Jesus had just kind of declared to Peter the kind of death that Peter was going to have, in so many words, and it says Jesus said this to indicate the kind of death by which Peter would glorify God. And then he said to him, "Follow me." So Peter turns and he sees John following them. And so he says to Jesus, "Lord, what about him?" And Jesus answered, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you? You must follow me." So it says, because of this, the rumor spread among the believers that this disciple, John, would not die. But Jesus did not say that he would not die. He only said, "If I want him to remain alive until I return, what is that to you?" And this is the disciple who testifies to these things and who wrote them down. We know that his testimony is true. So I just thought that was funny that, even then, with Jesus present, the words that Jesus said were, interpreted and kind of like added to and twisted around. And yet it's like, no, what did he say? And I think that's a good warning for us just in general when we're reading the Bible. In anything, it's called God's word. Anything that God said, to say, wait. What did he say? And not to create our own things outside of that. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you for watching. Bye.